Hello. Hi there. Happy Self-Care Sunday. Let me just wait for the video to get set on both pages. Okay, there it goes. All right, we're all set. I have my shitty connection. It's kind of funny. It always seems to turn out okay, though. All right, well, welcome to Self-Care Sunday. My name is Tina Stinson. There's quite a few new people in here this week, so I'm just going to very quickly tell you a little bit about myself. I am a holistic health coach, a certified professional life coach, and certified culinary nutrition educator, and I focus on plant-based nutrition. And I don't talk about that too much in these groups, but I do sometimes because I do consider it um, nutrition a form of deep level self-care. And um, while not everybody has to be plant-based, eating real whole food is important. That's really my main focus. So that's me in a nutshell. I have three beautiful grown children and two fur babies that I call my second set of children. And I love helping women step into their power and really learn to take care of themselves and create and live the life of their dreams. And so that's what I'm here to do, to help empower women. I love that there's men here too, and I feel that the men are here. I honor the men that are here for being open to listening to me. So I honor you guys too. Um, my shirt. So I love this shirt. I can't remember I got it. I think I got it at some kind of a craft market in Charlotte. It says, "It's okay, guacamole. I'm extra too." So I can be a little extra. But it's hot as hell shirt. So today is my gardening day. So every week when I show up here, I usually look like this in the summer because as soon as I'm done here, I go out into the garden, and this is when we start to harvest everything. So I'm picking stuff and freezing and canning. And yesterday I did carrots and I have string beans that I'm going to can. I'm making dilly beans, which are like pickled string beans, like dill pickled string beans, and they're so delicious. You could throw them on salad, you could just eat them, you can throw them on a burger. They're very good. So I'm going to be making some of those, and I have to pick kale and freeze kale, and I have blueberries. I picked so many blueberries last night, so I'm going to freeze those. Um, but that is about it. That's what I'm going to be doing after this. So today I've decided to talk about reframing your mindset and the ripple effect that it has and why that's important. And I've decided to talk about this because I'm reading a book in my book club, the Aligned and Worthy Book Club. And we're reading Stress Less, Accomplish More, and it's about meditation and the power of meditation, but a very specific type of meditation that really helps you deeply heal and rest. And it doesn't mean sitting there for hours meditating. Basically, what she suggests is meditating twice a day for 15 minutes. So it's very little time investment for the amount that you get back. So it reminded me of how important it is to reframe. Oh, I'm sorry about any noise. The lawn is going to be getting mowed. I'm surprised it's so hot today. Lost my train of thought. Okay, the importance of reframing, um, because what reframing does is it takes you out of the situation and gives you the space to really respond to that situation instead of reacting to that situation. If you hold on a second, I am going to close this window because I know the lawnmower is going to be loud. So give me like 2 seconds to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be a very loud lawnmower time. We don't have air conditioning here in the mountains because you don't usually need it. There we go. That's better. That's very bright. The sun's coming in now. Okay. So I just wanted to block that noise. Okay. Sorry. So anyway, so I teach this reframing method in the Aligned and Worthy boot camp, which is the deep level self-care course that I've created. And but I will talk a little bit about it now. So what this is about is it kind of stems off of some of the other things that I've been talking about here and on the podcast, which are learning your de-stressors. So learning how to deal with the strong feelings you have, like anger, sadness, and anxiety, and then how to raise your vibe and get you back into a more positive state. So, feeling your feelings, learning how to deal with them, getting back into a more positive state. And then that kind of leads into reframing, because when you have the capacity to um, deal with difficult situations, then you're not reacting, you're not like overreacting, you're responding. And the way I learned how to do this was very slowly. So I used to be in a very difficult relationship that was like kind of verbally abusive. And instead of putting myself next to this person and having conversations face to face where I would just be like belittled, yelled at, and not giving the space to even talk, I took myself out of that situation and put myself in a situation where I would only talk to them through text or email, because I would be able to almost like have control over the conversation and the way it flowed. And if it got abusive, I would just cut it off and there was limited contact. And what I realized when I started doing that is when you have that space to respond calmly, you respond better. And it has a better effect on everyone, including the other person, even if the other person isn't being a very cooperative communicator, right? So that's the beauty. So with the meditation, now if you want to go out and read the book and learn more about it, then great. If you want to join the book club and read along with us, great. The recordings will be there, so no matter when you join the book club, you could listen to the recordings and go through the whole book yourself and all the steps. But the point here is really learning how to feel your feelings and then learn how to disperse those feelings. So that's what finding the distressors does. Like, I know when I'm angry, if I go for a run, it helps that energy move through my body. So instead of like getting angry with someone and responding to them right away, going for a run, taking the time, and then coming back and responding later in a more beneficial, positive, way. Okay. And by doing this, the ripple effect. So that's what I really wanted to talk about, because this is what we were talking about in the last chapter that we read of this book. And I never really thought about the ripple effect, but the ripple effect is huge. So say, you're driving to work and you're super stressed out. You've had a really stressful week. It's Friday, it's the last day of the week. You're so done. It's hot as hell. You don't really feel like this. Everything's going poorly at work. You're super stressed out. You don't want to go. You're looking forward to the weekend, and you totally hate your job. Okay. So that's the mood that you're in. And then you go into the coffee shop and the person that's usually there that knows your coffee isn't there, and there's this girl behind the counter and she's really rude. Like maybe she's having a bad day too. She's really rude, and then you're just at the point where you've just had enough. And so you yell at her or something happens. We've all seen this on video lately. People at their um, we call them Karens or whatever, but what I see as a coach when I see people react like that is someone who is at the breaking point for some reason or another. Like, so I have like compassion and empathy for these Karens, because I'm like, man, something ain't right in their life. They need some help. So when you're at that capacity, like you have no capacity, okay? You have no patience left, you have nothing left. You're drained. You've been in fight or flight all week. You're in this fight or flight loop. Work is going shitty. You're having a shitty drive to work. You're in traffic. People are cutting off. You go to your favorite coffee shop. Your person isn't there. The person that's there is rude. And then like that's when you go off and you're like, fuck this. And then that you lose it. So you're reacting. You're reacting. And so let's do that all differently. Okay, so say you're the type of person who, yes, you come up against difficult situations at work, and but you're learning how to deal with those stressful situations. You're learning how to deal with those stressful situations. You're learning that when you meditate or you go for a walk, you go get out into nature, go for a run. You learn how to deal with those feelings and help move them through your body. Okay, which takes you out of fight or flight and lets you rest. It puts you, um, I think she calls it stay and play in the book. I like that. I always call it rest and digest because I'm like the health coach. So stay and play, put you in stay and play. And so you're getting those little moments. You're learning how to take care of yourself. This is what I call deep level self care. You're learning how to work through these feelings, and you're learning how to take care of yourself and give your body that rest that it needs. So that creates the space for the capacity to deal with these difficult situations. So you're that type of person and you're driving to work on Friday, and yeah, you're not really looking forward to it. But you know what? It's a nice sunny day out, and you're able to notice that because you have the capacity to notice that instead of being in that bad mood and everything is horrible. And when the person cuts you off, you barely even notice it. You're just like, ugh, whatever. You go to your coffee shop and you see the new person and they're in a bad mood and you're like, oh, they must be having a bad day. And you smile at them and they smile back. And then, so can you see how, like, just that small shift that you can make in your life, reframing different things in your life, can have like a ripple effect on that person. So then that coffee person, so let's just like continue this on and see how it can travel along. So you smiled at her, she smiled back, you had a little bit of banter, her mood seemed to improve. You're in a good mood, you go off to work. She helps the next person, she's in a better mood, she's nicer to them. The next person is this older woman that's going to visit a friend that needs some help that day. So that puts her, she says something nice to the old person, and then the old person is in the good mood, and then she goes to her friend's house. Before she goes to her friend's house, she buys her some flowers and brings her flowers. Like, can you see how it can just like push these little nudges out into the universe and then kind of just like keep expanding and moving on, and how these small little changes could really make a difference just by you taking the time to take care of yourself can create the space that you need. When you create space for your body to rest and heal, it creates the space you need to have the capacity to deal with difficult situations better. So just creating that self, taking care of yourself. So taking part in deep level self care, however that shows up for you. And so like finding your de-stressors, that one lesson that I teach in the Aligned and Worthy Bootcamp, I go deeper into what's going to work for you. How can you move through these different emotions so that you can experience your life better? How can I move through sadness? How can I move through anxiety? How can I move through stress? Because what works for you might not work for someone else. Everybody's different. So it's about learning about yourself and finding those ways. I just noticed that you can't even see my face on this one because it's so bright from the light. I'm sorry. I guess it really doesn't matter. You can see my mouth a little bit. Just learning what works for you. And because, like going for a run might sound miserable to someone else. Actually, it might even stress you out more. And when you're sad, some people might like to be around other people. Some people might want to go inward and maybe just like rest in it for a day. Okay. So everything is different for everybody. But learning how to take care of yourself is so important. That's the step that you have to do. That's the step that you have to take. And then once you learn what works best in each situation, then you have like a little toolbox that you've created for yourself. And when you recognize that emotion, you can say, okay, I'm feeling very anxious right now. What works for anxiety? Okay, this is what works for me for anxiety. I'm going to do this now. Okay. And so when you have your own little toolbox and how to deal with stress, sadness, anger, anxiety, you know how to help yourself move through those feelings, then you're automatically creating that environment for your body to rest and heal. Okay? When you create the environment every day, you make this a habit. Once you keep doing this, you make it a habit. It happens almost automatically after a certain period of time. So after you learn how to do this, you're creating space for yourself every day to help your body rest and heal. And then when you do that, it helps you deal with these difficult situations and enjoy your life better. It helps you enjoy your life better. And the ripple effect is such a nice, kind of afterthought to it, right? It's like a little side effect that a lot of people don't think about, like if I take care of myself, it's actually going to take care of other people. Like if I take care of myself, I'm going to be a better person for my spouse. I'm going to be a better person for my children, for my parents, for my friends and family members, and in turn, they'll have a better day and a better experience. So I think we could all use a little more of that, right? I know I can. So just having the space and the capacity and the patience for the people around us can make a huge difference, especially right now, the way the world is, the way we're all experiencing the world right now. And if we could add some positivity back into that world, we create a better space for everybody. And God, I think we all really need this right now. I think we all do. So I hope that was helpful to you, and I hope that you can have a few good takeaways and a few reasons to work on these de-stressors. This is something you could do by yourself. You could really, it's really just about acknowledging how you're feeling. So I'm feeling angry right now, and then trying different things that you think might help. So just going to all the go-tos for anger, like does meditation help? No, that doesn't help. Does running help? Does walking help? Does getting outside in nature? Does hanging out with friends? Does journaling help? Does tapping, EFT tapping help? What helps? Talking to my counselor, my therapist, whatever. What helps you when you're angry? And then when you find that, you write it down. That's step number one in your toolbox. Now, step number two, I'm feeling anxious. Then go through the same process. I'm feeling anxious. And learning how to step into each one of those emotions, like this is what helps me when I'm angry. This is what helps me when I'm sad. This is what helps me when I'm anxious. Like just going on and having that little toolbox, that you could do that all by yourself. You don't need, I mean, you could probably get some help from some people, like if you go see a counselor or a therapist. But you also learn this in the Aligned and Worthy boot camp that I have. But you can do this by yourself. So I encourage everybody to learn how to um, deal with those feelings. Don't suppress them. Feel into the feelings, but learn how to help them move through your body so that you can move on and have a more positive experience in your life, right? So just learning how to move through them, and then the ripple effect that it'll have on the other people that are in your life with you is just amazing. So I encourage you to do that. Watch the video again and write things down, create your own toolbox for your feelings, and then see the difference that it makes in your life and the people around you. And take note of that, because most of what we experience is what we acknowledge. So when we start looking at those things that we're doing and acknowledging those things, then we really notice the progress that we're making and the difference that we make. Okay, so I'm going to put below this video, I'll put different ways you can connect with me. I've talked about a few things on here. I've talked about the book club. I talked about the podcast is brand new. As a matter of fact, I didn't really officially launch it yet. It starts on August 1st. I haven't been too aggressive about launching because I've been so busy with the book club, but I will promote it more. I think I've promoted it on here. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I'll put a link to the podcast, a link to the book club, and then I'll put a link to the Aligned and Worthy boot camp. I'm doing coaching sessions right now. So if you wanted to get into this Wednesday's coaching session, I cover a different topic every week. I think this week we're covering how to reconnect with your intuition. So if you wanted to get into the coaching, you would have to sign up before Wednesday next week. And then after I finish this weekly coaching series that has 3 more weeks, I'm going to go into monthly coaching. So every month I'll be coaching on a new topic, and I'll be going all year round instead of on and off sporadically. I wanted to have support all year round for the people that are in that boot camp. So anyway, I'll put those 3 links below. I also will put a link to set up like a private call with me if you're interested in private coaching. I do have a VIP monthly special that's coming up um, that I don't usually promote my private coaching on here, but I'll share it on here too. Okay, I hope that you all have a lovely day and create your toolbox for yourself. I love you. Bye.